Blog Talk Radio.
Does it appear that your pet can see or hear things that you can't? Or can you still sense the presence of a deceased pet? We'll address these topics and more today on The Missy Show. Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Missy Show. It's Saturday, April 12th, 2014, and it's a gorgeous day outside.
It is gorgeous. It is officially spring.
Yes, it is. I wish we could almost broadcast from outdoors. It's so pretty.
I know, right? Because it is so nice. I was out there earlier, and it was just, you saw everybody walking the dogs, and they were out running and doing lawn work and everything. It is a gorgeous day today. Great day today.
Yeah, great beach day. Well, I'm your host, Jay, and once again, my buddy D is joining me for today's broadcast.
Hey.
Our topic today is about pets and the paranormal.
I so love this topic. I'm so excited about this.
You know what? I find it so interesting. I was thinking, well, maybe I should have saved it for October, but then again, maybe we could do another show about it during the month of October. That would be cool.
We can do part 2 of Pets and the Paranormal.
Yeah, because I get the feeling that this is going to be one where we're probably going to run out of time because there will be so much more to say. So, yeah, we'll keep that in mind for future episodes.
Yeah, but I was so excited. I was so excited about the topic about this because I just find it very interesting.
Yes, it's immensely interesting. And for those of you who would like to join in the conversation today, please call 347-838-8313 or leave a comment after the show by going to blogtalkradio.com/shesatortie, and that's SHESATORTIE. Okay, animals and the paranormal. It's like, geez, it's a broad topic. So it's like, where should we start?
No, it is so. I mean, because I've seen the television shows where they actually have the pet psychic and the pet person who kind of, the pet's having a problem, a behavioral problem, what have you, and then they go to the pet psychic, and the pet psychic comes in and they do a reading on the pet. So I've seen that kind of way, and then connecting with the energy of the pet, of the house, of the vibe of the house, and everything. So it's so interesting.
It is, and sometimes you'll have a pet, like with Missy, for instance. She has these moments where she'll just be looking at something. She'll just be looking down the hallway or whatever, and you're like looking at her, and you're like, well, what are you looking at? And then you'll look in the direction she's looking in, and you can't see anything, or like her ears will perk up like she hears something, and you just kind of like wondering to yourself, like, what's going on? And I know other people have had these experiences with their pets.
Well, I know I have with my pet. I know I have with my gone Boomer, but because the house we live in, as you know, and we've spoken about this before, we have experienced some paranormal activity. These are our own, and I've experienced my own paranormal activity in this house. Nothing that has ever been, I don't want to say out of the ordinary, because I guess you could say that's kind of out of the ordinary, but nothing where we felt threatened or I've ever felt threatened, but this was before he came, and so it was interesting to see after we got Boomer in the house that when he actually started to kind of pick up on it too. So I was like, okay, it's not just me. He's a part of this too. He's sensing this stuff too because, there's certain rooms and certain objects in the house that would just kind of set him off, and you're like, what is going on with the dog? He's seeing things, he's hearing things, and of course animals have like hearing beyond ours, so they automatically are going to hear stuff, whatever. But he would just, it was like some of them would just interact with him. It was one of them would just play with him, and because he would be in our living room, and that's where a lot of our activity happens. And he would be in the living room, and all of a sudden you just kind of walk by and you see him, and it's like they're playing with him because he's like, if you had a ball going back and forth, how they would go back and forth with the ball, how the dog would react.
Yeah.
He would be reacting, and you're like, what is going on? But because we're kind of aware of what goes on in this house, it surprised me because that was kind of like the first time that I was like seeing him react to it. But it was one of those things where I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised. But it was so interesting to see him interact with this spirit, this soul, what have you, this energy, and see him just kind of interact with it. And it was like a friendly little game that they were playing. And I thought, okay, there you go.
That is, it's like it's cool, and in a way it's kind of like freaky, but as long as, like you said, it's a situation where you've never sensed anything threatening or menacing about it, you know, long as it's a friendly spirit, you know, I guess it's okay. But it's just interesting that your pet can see something that you can't see. It can interact with it, actually.
Yeah, there was only once where he actually there was something going on. We had relatives actually in, and I've told you about my mom's cousins that come. And we have one particular cousin that he bonded with so well, and for some strange reason, you know, they were like thick as thieves. Wherever she went, he would go with her, and they bonded really quickly. And she was sitting on the sofa one day, and he came out and sat down by her, and then all of a sudden he kind of turned around and faced her, and he was looking over her shoulder, and I don't know what it was or what that energy was, but it was not a good energy for him, because his hair stood up, and it wasn't like he was directing his anger or his whatever you want to call it at her, because you could clearly see he was looking past her. It was over her shoulder, kind of at the wall, and it was whatever that was he wanted it to get away from her.
Yeah, he wanted no part of that. Wow.
Yes, he was growling, and he was just like, you know, and we were like, what's wrong, Boomer? What? And he was just like, So she just finally said, you know what, I'm going to get up and move. And
probably a smart move.
Yeah, she got up and moved, and he kind of looked at it and growled a little bit more, and then it just went away, I guess.
Wow.
So, you know, I don't know, but I just truly believe, some people have the theory, and that's fine if that's what you believe. I just, some people think that animals don't have souls, therefore they can't connect with, or you can't connect with them in the afterlife or something like that. The energy doesn't, go beyond that, which I truly believe all animals have souls. I just do. And so I believe they carry that energy with them, and it's possible for it to come back or stay here with us. And, still to this day, my dog, he's been gone for like 3 years. And still to this day, every so often, I'll hear bark, I'll hear his bark, and I'm like, am I going crazy or what? But I've just kind of accepted that. I'm like, hey, Boomer, it's whether it's whatever, I'm like, hey, Boomer. Or I'll smell him. And, we've shampooed carpets and we've cleaned the house and everything, but you'll get a whiff. I'll get a whiff of him. I will smell him.
It's like his energy is still there. He's still with you. I believe that.
Yeah, I just do. Some people, you can have your belief and whatever, but for me, I truly believe that they have. So I think that there are so many areas that we have not tapped into with animals and their ability. Because, of course, we know they have the ability to warn us when certain things are going to happen. If you have certain medical issues, they can sense stuff before it happens. Boomer would sit in the doorway before I would come home. Maybe because he knew I was getting ready to come home.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready to drive out, he would be in I don't know how, I don't know why, but he would know. So I just truly believe that they have a connection that goes beyond what we know right now. It's so much more than what we have right now.
And you know what? Apparently somebody else also agrees with us, because we actually have a caller in the queue.
We have a caller. Cool.
So we are going to patch the caller in and find out some more info and what kind of experiences they've had. Let's see here. Going to bring them in and see what's going on in the caller's world. Yeah, that was interesting what you were talking about them being able to sense certain stuff, because I want to talk about the cat from Rhode Island. I don't know if you remember that story about the cat who could sense when people in the Rhode Island nursing home was going to pass away.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, because the cat would go and kind of like lay by the resident, by the patient.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that.
Let's see here. Still trying to bring my caller in.
I just believe that our pet, and if you own a pet, you probably completely understand what I'm talking about. And you know, they just, even with my dog, you know, he could just sense when I could come home and just had a bad day. And of course we're communicating, but he just kind of knew when it was. He would just come and kind of give me some extra love, and I'm like, you know, Mama had a bad day, don't you? You know, I had a horrible day, and he would just give you some extra love. But when you didn't feel well, they're like, he was just extremely sensitive at that particular time.
Oh,
he just was. He just kind of knew, and I'm like, I don't know how they know, but there's a connection, just like you would have, I think, with the person. Some type of nonverbal kind of connection you would have. It's just truly believe that.
And I think now we have our caller on the line. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Anybody there?
Hello, caller.
Oh, no, did we lose our caller? It's showing they're still on here. No.
No. Come on back, caller.
Caller, are you there? I don't know what happened to our caller.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well,
maybe somebody else will call, and if you're there, call. If something happened, please call back.
Yeah, please do call us back. 347-838-8313. Call us back. You know, we'd really love to hear from you.
Yes. But I just believe that there are connections. There are connections that our pets have. You know, you hear you hear about the animal that has gotten separated from their owners, and they travel for miles and miles and miles, and they manage to find the owner, you know, find their way back home. You know, what is that? You know, what is that exactly? You know, what is it that they're picking up on that they can travel states? Some have traveled across states to make it all the way back to their, you know, their people's house, you know, their family's homes. So I just find it hard to believe that there's not that connection there.
Yeah, it's like they're on some other type of frequency or something that's unavailable to us, or something that we as humans haven't tapped into.
Exactly. And I think I just truly believe that there is a whole area there that is just so beyond us that, I know we've done studies and we've done research, and we know that there's a connection. We know that they can sense before you're going to have a seizure. You know, you have the therapy and the assistance animals that go around with you, and you have, you know, different kinds of things like that. So we've tapped into it, but I just think that there's so much more that we have yet to even get close to, because I just truly believe our pets, especially when you bond with them and they have that personal connection with you. I even think, you know, when they don't even maybe connect with you on a personal level, but just animals in general have this ability. I just truly believe that, to have some type of connection.
Yeah, it's sort of just like with small children, and this is a bit off topic, and I'm not going to go down this road really far, but I believe small children sometimes have abilities that we lack as adults. I think we all start off with an ability to tap into certain things, because I remember being a small kid, and there were certain things that I could see that I can't see now as an adult.
Exactly. That's why I think it's one of those, and I don't know, because with animals, they are, I don't know if you want to call them pure souls, you know, they're pure souls. They haven't been kind of tainted, and even when the ones that are tainted, they still have that forgiveness and that, you know, trust, and once, you know, to a certain degree, I guess, after if something had happened, but it's just a pure soul, a pure love, and it's just completely simplistic, and it's completely connective to whatever it is in the universe. And I don't want to get all space agey on you or anything like that, but I have always believed that. I've always believed that our animals, you know, whatever it is, have a connection that goes beyond our realm of reasoning or understanding at this moment, you know.
I agree. The cat I was actually referring to, I was reading a couple of articles about the cat. The cat was named Oscar, and Oscar may still be alive, I'm not sure, but the cat predicted at least 50 deaths in a Rhode Island nursing home.
I think I remember that. I think I remember it, because wasn't it something to the effect of where the nursing staff would kind of know, or they would kind of they would know if Oscar went and kind of laid by the patient. Or
yes, that's the cat. That's exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. Because I thought, there we go. That's what I'm saying, people. That's what I'm saying. You know, and a lot of people kind of, they want to, you know, and maybe it is, they want to chalk it up to, you know how you might give off a certain odor or a certain chemical because our cats, our animals have sensories that are so, you know, heightened that they can might smell or whatever. And that might be the case, but I just truly believe that it's something that, you know, on a different level. You know, it's just on a different level.
I agree because they certainly couldn't explain it. You know, they were trying to say that one of the theories was like what you were saying about maybe they were giving off a certain odor or pheromone, you know, that we give off when we're about to, you know, pass away or whatever. Yeah. But it's like they really couldn't come up with a definitive explanation of what was going on.
Yeah.
But I just choose to believe that it was something with the cat, that the cat just could sense something that we can't sense.
Exactly. I just do. I just think they all animals have this ability, you know, to tap into, you know, something that we can't tap into or we ignore. Maybe it's there, we just ignore it, but they don't ignore it, you know. They kind of recognize it, they acknowledge it, and they go with it. I mean, I truly, truly believe in that. I truly believe that they have the ability to sense things that, you know, are beyond that.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. It looks like our caller is attempting again, so I'm going to see if I can patch them in this time and see how it goes.
Fingers crossed.
Let's see. Caller, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
Hi, my name is Janice. I'm calling from Mobile, Alabama.
Ah, well, hello, Janice. Thank you for joining the Missy Show.
Well, thank you.
Glad you could get through this time. Well, tell us, what's your paranormal pet story?
I actually am kind of a scaredy cat, and I don't have a paranormal pet story. But I just think that I agree with everything y'all are saying. Like, it's totally possible if there are spirits and ghosts and everything for humans. It's got to be something for animals and that they can sense and they can see as well. So I just totally agree. And I don't have a story, but I just wanted to say that I agree with you guys, and your guys' show sounds really cool.
Thank you, Janice.
Well, thank you, Janice. Do you have a pet of your own?
Yes, I have a dog that I rescued on my way taking my kids to school one morning. I don't know what breed she is because I haven't taken her to the vet as of yet. But I think she's probably about 8 months old. She's a little all-black puppy, and she's just the best. Yeah.
What's her name, Janice?
Her name's China.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Janice, you might want to call in next week when we have our show about pet adoption. I think you might want to call in and, you know, maybe further share your story about China.
Yeah, we want to hear about China. You need to post some pictures up for us with China. We can see a picture of her.
I sure will.
All right, Janice. Well, thanks for calling, and you have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you, Janice.
You guys too. Keep up the good work. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was nice.
That's so cool. Janice from Mobile, Alabama. We love that.
Yeah, I'm really glad she was able to get back through because a lot of times when you lose a caller, you know, they don't get an opportunity to get back through, so that was good.
Yes, and anytime you call in, callers, if we lose you, because like we say, we're still kind of new with this, so if we lose you, please, please, please either stay on the line or try to get back in touch with us because we really want to talk to you.
Yeah, and once again, for those of them who want to listen after the show or want to leave a comment, just go to blogtalkradio.com/she'satorty. And I know that name is so funny, but I use that term because Missy is a tortoiseshell cat, you know, and when I took her to the vet, I just remember, you know, she was a little bitty kitten, and the lady, she looked in the little bag that I had her in, and when she saw her, she was like, she's a tortie. You know, I just remember her shouting that.
That is the name. That is the phrase. She's authority.
So that's why I chose to use that. So yeah, she's a Tory, and we'll have some more Missy centered shows after a while. I don't have a lot of paranormal stuff with Missy, except she just goes into those modes where she's seeing or hearing something that me and my husband can't see or hear. But that's fine by me. They can stay hidden, whatever it is.
For us, like I say, because, and I've spoken to you about this before, in the home we live in, we've experienced, and I've experienced personally, some paranormal activity. And, and like I say, all of ours, we've never gotten any kind of ill or feeling that whatever it is going to harm us. It's always been friendly. It's never been threatening. And when Boomer came along, it's never been, for him, I think it's more of, even that was the only time when we had the relatives there. That was the only time where I saw him actually kind of act aggressively toward whatever it was. So, and whatever it was, I guess got the picture and kind of got out of there. So, yeah. I don't know, but for him, we have just a mirror that's in our living room. And like I say, a lot of it happens in our living room, and that's where he would sit in there and he would just kind of play with this one of the spirits. And then we have a mirror that's right by our front door as you come into the house. And that mirror holds a lot of energy, a whole bunch of energy for him. And that would be, he could sit there and look at that mirror and he would just bark. And you could tell the barks that he would have, it would be like a bark of, what? Like, what is it? Huh? What? What is it? And he would have these different, it's like they're just playing with him or they're talking to him. And you'll see him turn his ears up and he'll turn his head like, huh? Okay, huh? And it's
it's fascinating.
It's just, if you're not prepared for it, it'll freak you out. I'm not going to lie to you. It'll freak you out. But, because we know what goes on in this house, we've never felt ill, threatened, or anything. For us, it's okay. And as long as he's okay with it, we're okay with it. He was okay with it, we're okay with it.
Wow, and guess what? We actually have another caller. We're on fire today.
All right, we're rolling, too.
All right. Well, since we're down to 7 minutes, 30 seconds of the show, we're going to patch this caller in and see what's going on. Hi, caller. Are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Marcus, and I'm calling from Texas.
Hello, Marcus from Texas.
Hi.
How are you today?
Doing great.
Oh, good. Do you have a pet paranormal story or just something you want to say about the topic today?
I'm not sure if it's a pet paranormal type of thing. I think probably all pets probably do it, but I have a dog that there's just a certain time of the day, if we're at home and we're alone, and the house is quiet, no television, no radio, no inner distractions, his head goes straight up in the air, ears point straight to the ceiling, and he stares off into space as though something is there. And it's the weirdest thing because it freaks me out every time he does it. So I get up, I go look, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything, but of course I know they can, see and hear things that we can't. I'm looking out the window, I open up the door, nobody in front of the house, no cars, and he's just staring. And then if once I come back, as long as I don't bother him, he'll keep doing it. And so I'll just keep watching him, and then the next thing you know, he does like a little slight growl, and then he jumps off the bed or whatever he's on, and he just takes off running.
Oh, my God.
And then after he does that for, a few seconds or something, then it's like he stops, and then he comes back, and he's looking at me like, what?
What, Dad? What?
Well, it sounds like he's seeing something.
He's seeing something.
Yeah.
Something's there. Something is there. He's not just going to do this for no reason at all. And you said it happens at the same time of the day, every day?
Yeah,
every
virtually
day,
the exact same time every day. If it's the weekend or maybe a day I don't go to work or anything, and I'm at home, and you know how we are as humans. You know, we have routines and stuff, so you get sleepy about the same time of the day that you do most days. You get hungry about the same time. So always around lunchtime is when I'm almost like a zombie. I mean, I could just go out, and if I'm at home with him somewhere in, you know, whatever you consider to be lunchtime, I would say maybe 11 to 1 or somewhere in that area, he does it every time. So
wow.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. You know, I'm not worried about it, but it's kind of a bit of a concern.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think that, you know, like I say, our pets tap into things that we just can't. It's just a little bit beyond us, and we're not aware of. And for him, and you say that he growls or something with it. I mean, is it like he's aggressively going at this, or is it just something where he's like it's a curiosity kind of a thing?
It seems like a curiosity to me. Well, not that you're saying it, because I was always looking at it as an attack kind of thing, because it's
like
not really a growl,
defensive.
maybe like a little light, almost bark, you know, like he wants to bark, but he's not quite sure. He just makes this kind of sound, and then
like what? Here it is again, Daddy. Here it is again. Look, here it is again.
Yeah, and so, but he never acknowledges me though. It's always after he's taken off and ran to wherever it is that he's going in the house. And then after, I guess, he feels like it's not there anymore, whatever, then that's when he comes back and he looks at me like he's saying, what? Or, you didn't hear that?
You didn't see that?
Silly human.
Yeah. So I don't know what to make of it, but I was listening to the show and I heard the topic and I said, you know what, I'm going to call in and just see if somebody else has a pet that's doing that.
Oh, well, I had a dog Boomer, my baby Boomer. He you know, our energies would play with him, and it would be where you could go into the living room, and he would be in there as if you were standing in front of him with a ball saying, here, catch, going back and forth, and he would be just playing, and it wasn't threatening or anything, and after a while, they would stop playing, and he would just go back to whatever it was he was doing.
Yeah, so you're not alone, Mark.
You're not alone.
Yeah,
I
definitely feel like we're not alone. You know, I was just here at home and had the television on, the weirdest thing, and I said, hey, let me call in because hashtag I'm looking at dark skies right now.
Well, don't freak yourself out, Marcus, for the rest of the evening.
Please don't, Marcus.
I won't.
Well, thank you so much for calling, Marcus. This has been really fascinating. We don't hardly have any time left.
We should make this an hour show.
Yeah. Well,
we'll do a part two.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a part two, and definitely maybe for the month of October we'll sort of have themes like this or something. I don't know. This was really fascinating.
Very interesting. Like I told you, I was so excited about this. I was so excited about this show title.
Oh, yeah, and definitely we'll have to. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, before we go, I just want to say a shout-out to our friends over in India, our sister stations and sister people over in India. Savat, we want to say hello to you and your dad. Thank you for making it back safe from your pilgrimage, and all the pet lovers over in India. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for being faithful listeners. Thank you for all your comments, your suggestions. You're one of the reasons we do what we do.
And we love you for it, and your pet.
Well, everyone, please make sure that you join us next week. We're going to be discussing pet adoption. We want to hear your pet adoption story, you know, whether you adopted the pet or the pet adopted you, you know, because it happens both ways sometimes, you know.
Yes.
And we will be on at 5 p.m., you know, and we'd love to hear your stories. Remember, the call-in number is 347-838-8313. This has been really awesome, and it's such a pretty day. Maybe we should do something with the rest of this day.
We should go out and look for pretty pets.
Yeah, we should. We should.
Maybe we take pictures of great pets.
Yeah, we should go to the park or something. I don't know. Yeah, because we could see people out there walking their dogs and their ducks and stuff. Yeah, we could go out there and do that.
Enjoy nature.
Yes, enjoy nature. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great weekend.